Guys, so I haven't made a video in a while, so welcome back to the channel. For you guys that don't know me, my name is Gino Palumbo. I started wholesaling real estate at 19 years old back at the end of 2018. Last year, our company did a little bit over $2 million. Same thing in 2022, and in 2021 we did 1.8 million. So, we've done a lot of deals. Not as much as some other people. I'll be the first one to say we definitely aren't the biggest fish in the ocean. But what I want to do here is I made a post on Instagram that got about 25 people responding to it. I'm wanting to see how we run our weekly, what we call win meetings. And win meetings for us are one meeting a week where all the directors and myself meet and we discuss truthfully our biggest objections, biggest issues, while also reviewing the week in the week that just got completed and also the quarter. So what I'm going to do today, and I have a breakdown here in front of you. Not going to make this fancy at all. Again, I'm running most of my videos now, so that's why, maybe the quality of the videos aren't as well or aren't as good, excuse me. But the content, praise the Lord, you guys feel is better than ever. And so I'm going to be putting out more videos. But to start off today, guys, we're going to go over again that win meeting, what we call it. We coined it the win meeting. It's also what we've got that name from some of the mentors we use. So again, the win meeting, going over it. Every Monday we meet from about 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And like I mentioned, all of our directors are there. My marketing director, my lead manager director, my AM director, dispo director, transaction coordination director, and then it's me. So how does that run, right? So first thing we do to start the meeting, getting right into it here, guys, is we get check-in. We do a check-in, right? It's Monday. It's 1 o'clock. People have already got their early, Monday calls, early Monday meetings. They've already settled on for the day. So we like to do it at 1 o'clock so that people can get things done. But what does the check-in look like? We allow everyone, we go around, share one good personal news in the last week. Again, it's, hey, I did this over the weekend. Hey, this happened last week. My wife and me had an anniversary. Oh, how did it go? We talk, right? It's 5 to 10 minutes, to be honest. And we usually use that time to allow us all to get back in, get into each other's personal lives per se, and trying to understand where, maybe they've done something or where they might be struggling with something in their personal life. But, like I said, mentioning some good news so that, we can start the meeting all on a positive note and kind of feel we're a little bit more connected, because our company, I should disclose that too, is we're all virtual. So I have a director in Washington, one in Georgia, actually 2 in Georgia, actually 3 in Georgia, so maybe not as much. 3 in Georgia, 1 in Texas, and 1 in Washington. So, we're all over the place. Even in Georgia, me and my fiance, who's another director of transactions, we obviously were traveling for a month and a half. For you guys that follow me on Instagram, I shouldn't say obviously, but that follow me, we were traveling for a month and a half in Europe. So we connect. We use that meeting, that check-in to connect. Enough about that. The next is a very important one. We go over our quarterly rocks. Every director has at least one quarterly rock. And what is that? That's a quarterly initiative. We call them quarterly rocks that we believe in, that we made before the quarter started to put forth some energy into some topic or something that's going to help us grow dramatically in this current quarter. So, for example, we have multiple ones, but for example, we have someone, and I actually just went back and looked just so I can give you exactly ones. I wanted to give you guys all the stuff. We have one for our TC that's, 2 reviews every single week that she's set to get. That's a goal for the quarter. We believe that's obviously going to push more sellers to go and work with us if they see us have a lot of Google reviews. Another one is train another working and performing acquisition manager. So we set up initiatives for that throughout the 13 weeks of the quarter. Another one is build out 90 plus VIP or, super qualified off-market buyers. We mostly sell in MLS for you guys that are new to the channel. We wholesale in MLS. We sell most of our deals on MLS, but there's times where we got to push deals up to get revenue that we want to achieve for the month, our goals, and we got to sell them off market. We got to sell them quicker, right? So in some rare cases, probably 20% of the time, we will go on a targeted off market buyers list and send it out and blast it and try to sell it to someone faster and quicker. So those are just, again, quarterly initiatives. We'll go through. Every director will share what they did last week to advance their quarterly initiative, their quarterly rock. And based on that, if we see someone that's maybe not, doing something, or they should have done something they didn't, or it's not working, we immediately add all those here to our critical to qualify list, or what we just call our issues list, to be honest. So we'll go on there, and any issue that we find from here on out in the meeting, it goes on the issues list, or any problem that we see. We don't want to waste our time talking about it here. As you can see, it's a 5-minute convo. Every director just goes through what they did or what they did not do last week to advance their quarterly initiative. And if there is an issue, they didn't do something, or they have an issue with what they're doing currently, hey, I don't feel like it's working as well. Hey, I need a new strategy. Hey, I need your guys' help on how I should advance this this initiative. Then immediately we'll add it to the issues list. Now, we won't talk about it yet, but we'll add it to the issues list. So after that, as well, and it's not on here, but it's kind of a thing we've deviated ourselves after the quarterly rock thing, and I'm going to add it just for the sake of this, so you guys can see the video. See, this thing I added right after is we go over our measurables, and it kind of goes with stoplight. That's why I went ahead, my executive assistant draft this. She left it out, but it kind of goes with our stoplight report. What our measurables are is our normal measurables, our typical measurables are new leads, net leads, appointments complete, contracts, revenue signed, and close profit or close gross profit on the current week, right? So we'll go over that as a team. It's similar to what I'm talking about here in the stoplight, but we'll highlight it here so that way in the beginning of the meeting, we can see that because it's still pretty early in the meeting, as well as a stoplight, but we can go into it and kind of get a gauge on where we're at. So once we go over that, we'll go over to-dos. This is where each director will put not their minute to-dos. It's more of our to-dos that we've drafted from the week before as a team. Maybe that had to do with an issues list. I'll get into that when we're going through solving issues. But it's a lot of issues, once we're solving them, they need to have to-dos placed with them. So we'll go over that, make sure everyone caught up. If they didn't, why didn't you commit to doing it this week, and all that good stuff, right? So again, we'll go measurables. We'll review some of the major numbers of our business. We'll go to to-dos, making sure from anything from the week before is done. And if not, there's a plan in place to do it this week. Okay. So, and the third thing here is that stoplight report that I mentioned. It's similar to the measurables. What it is a document, that is just labeled out for new leads, net leads, appointments set, appointments complete, contracts, revenue signed, profit, gross profit. We also have some additional things. That's what makes it different than measurables on the stoplight report. We have, our average time from, contract with the seller to contract with the buyer. We always want to look at that. We also have on there that's different than measurables is we have projected closings for the next 30 days. So we can say, all right, we only have 6 closings. Well, we need to be at 12. So we're going to talk about these on the stoplight. We're going to see, and there's a number for each one of those metrics I mentioned to you: new leads, net leads, appointments, contract signed revenue, closed revenue. And then, like I mentioned, there's other ones as well, like time from contract with the seller to contract with a buyer. And we're looking at those. And if there's ever a time where they're over 2, really 3, but even sometimes 2 weeks red, meaning we missed our new leads, our goal of new leads 2 times in a row. If we missed our appointments 2 times in a row, we'll immediately put that on our issues list. Right? Put this on this list to talk about what's going on, what's happening. It's a trend that we're in the red since it's been 2 weeks. And what are we going to do differently so that we do not fail for a 3rd week in a row? Right? So I went pretty fast through here. I know it's already been 8 minutes, but this is where the money of the business gets made. We usually get through all this in about 30 minutes or less, to be honest, even though I know the time adds up, probably being around, 25 minutes. Like sometimes we'll even get done with this in 20 minutes. But this is where the money gets made, where we spend the time and energy, right? Because throughout this meeting, even though we're going quickly through it before the issues list, we're still identifying any trends that we're seeing that are off. Hey, are we missing measurables? Hey, is there to-dos we need to do? Hey, is our quarterly rocks? Why is that not working? Why did, you're saying you want to hire an AM and make them performing, but it's week 4 and, your AM's not even at 1 contract yet. Why? And what can we do to make sure that they do not, continue on that road of failing, right? And I'm just giving examples. There's nothing that's happening right now. So again, the issues list, how I run these issues lists. Again, there's a big list. And on that list now, we're getting better at coming with the meeting, whoever puts something on there with solutions already on, suggestions for solutions already on that list. So we'll look through it. We'll identify some of the most important ones. We'll say, hey, this one's going to be the most revenue generating one. We always start there because we know our energy is going to be the best in the beginning. So we try to start at which one's going to make or push the company forward. Which issue, if we solve it, would push the company forward the most or make us the most revenue. So we'll start there. And how I run the format is we want to identify, discuss, and solve. Very important. Sometimes you get in these meetings, and we've done it, and I'm sure you've probably experienced something similar, is where you'll talk about the issue, or someone on your team might talk about the issue for 15 minutes. It's like, holy shit. Like, we need to get to the solution. Stop talking about the issue. You brought the issue. What's your solution? And so recently, like I mentioned, I've been challenging our team to come into these meetings, and they've done a really good job kind of working together actually in a pre-win meeting. And we won't talk about that right now, but where they'll come together and they'll start drafting solutions to these. And so by the time I come in the win meeting with them, I can see their solution say, I agree, or, hey, I think we should try this too. And, it's forced us to be able to be more efficient with our time, but also the availability to allow me to save energy and not have to go into these issues, and even though a lot of times I put issues on here myself, but even for my team, I'm not solving their issues. I want them to come in here if they have issues to have already solutions written down on what they think is a solution to that issue they bring up. So we can talk, and it might not always be the right one, or it might not always be the right one, but at least we can communicate. All 5 directors are here, and we're communicating and understanding, why we're making these decisions. So again, we'll do this for about the rest of the time, an hour to hour and a half, exactly where we're, going detailed into solving these issues. And like I mentioned, it's identify, discuss, solve. We're trying to focus on solving, right? We can identify an issue very quick. We can discuss it. And if we're discussing it, we don't want to discuss the issue. We want to discuss the solution. So it goes with this solution part on the third part there, right? Identify, discuss, solve. We're solving this issue, and we're trying to get to that solution where we all can feel it's going to push the company forward in the quickest time, right? It's not like we're trying to rush something down your throat, but at the same time, we really don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on one issue. And I'll tell you that firsthand, is we're not perfect at that. I'm the one that likes talking the most. And sometimes, even though we're talking solutions, it can be a 15-minute issue. And my team's done a better job actually holding me accountable. Like, hold on. Let's move on. We'll come back to that one if that's still an issue. But right now, let's make a little plan right now to go forward to solve that issue. But let's not spend 30 minutes talking about the solution and trying to solve it when we got other ones on here. Right. So again, one last thing on that. I'm beating a dead horse, I know, but look, the solution, the issues list right here, the CTQ, this is the number one most important thing. If you're not doing it, you should do this in your business with your team. And even if you don't have a big directors, you can meet with your team in general and just talk about the issues you're seeing. And it's important for your team to see issues you're seeing, and they have issues you're not seeing, and that they can bring those to light to you. And so that you can work together to solve big issues with your company, so that in the future, you're having less tension, less responsibilities, less guesswork where, hey, I think he's supposed to do that, or is it me? And your team's on that call. Hopefully you have directors. If you don't, you have your team that now they can see what you're thinking. They can see what the future holds with them, see where that issue or that, issue can be solved. And there's no guesswork. And that's the important thing there, is like, when we get through these, we have solutions, and that director knows how they can solve it. Gino knows how he can solve it. And, again, it just creates clarity for the team. And the last thing here is just actionability. We don't, to be honest, do this every time, but I like to have it on here, is because we will, if we have time at the end occasionally. Okay, what are you doing? We just spent an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes in this meeting. What are you doing next week? Like, what's your main thing? Just recapping one big thing they're going to do to press their team forward, to push their team forward. So, excuse me, just to push their team forward. So again, this is about a 2-hour meeting. This is what we do every single week. I've never missed one. Yeah, never missed one at all. And if I did, it was only because I could only join through half the meeting or whatever it might be. But truthfully, do not remember the last time that I was not a part of this one in full capacity. And I think it's the number one thing I do in the entire week. I tell my directors that, look, this is where the business grows, because this is exactly how us as a team can be on a better page, be on the same page. And we have 5 brains, including myself, 6, working on a solution to big issues in the company. So, obviously just me, it's only 1. If I can have 5 more people that I respect and know that they can have the same goals for the company of Ferocity, our team, they have the same goals and we're working together, it's 5 times the chances that we'll have a better success of solving an issue. Because again, I'm one person. If I get 5 more, 5 times the chance that we're going to solve an issue and get a better answer. So hope you guys enjoy this. If you're looking for more content, again, we're a wholesaling team. Got about 29 people on our team as of today. virtually wholesaling in Texas, Dallas Fort Worth specifically, Raleigh, Durham, and some of Metro Atlanta. And we do direct mail, cold call, texting, and pay-per lead services. We'll pay for some PPC leads. So if you're interested in hearing more about what we do, how we do it, please leave a comment down below. Again, last thing on it, we're virtually locking up deals. Last month was our best month ever at 31 contracts in one single month. So again, leave a comment down below if you have any questions on how we're doing stuff. I know I haven't made a video in a while, so I'm sorry about that, but looking forward to just make simple videos like this. I saw Alex Hormozi. Most of you guys might know that, and you can see again, I like talking. But Alex Hormozi made a video recently too that he's not doing any more fancy editing and things like that. He's just sharing value, and I think that opened my eyes to more of just like I might have been overthinking, I need to have an editor come in. Like this video is going to be edited. You'll see me coughing a little bit. Like it's going to be unedited. I'm posting it and fuck it. Hopefully it gives you the value. So I don't know if I can curse on the channel. So, well, maybe it might get taken down now because I'm not editing this. But anyway, hope you guys got value. Look forward to hearing some of your guys' comments and any questions. And like I said, just leave it down below.